Today, the goal is to take you from a noob in Minecraft whose idea of using a furnace is just putting stuff in it and taking stuff out of it, to a pro who knows every furnace hack and trick there is, so you can stop wasting time and actually do something productive in your Minecraft world. This right here, this is a furnace. And you may already be thinking, well, duh, Prowl, I know that. But I got a lot of things about the furnace that you probably don't know. So I'm gonna take you from a furnace noob to a furnace pro. And we start out by, how does the furnace work? Well, you put in some fuel, you put in some things to cook, like some beef, for example, and out comes a product. In this case, we get some cooked beef that we can eat. And there's actually a lot of things you can use for fuel. You can use scaffolding, sticks, blaze rods, logs, charcoal, which comes from logs, coal, dried kelp blocks, blocks of coal, and believe it or not, even nether bricks. That's not all of them, but that's most of them that you'll encounter in regular gameplay in any way, shape, or form. And while I'm not going to go over how long every single one of these things lasts, just know that different forms of fuel are different from each other. Coal and charcoal will burn 8 items, whereas something like what I forgot here, a bucket of lava, will smelt 100 items. Figuring out which fuel source is best for you in your world, well, that's kind of up to you. But actually, I have a little hack here that a lot of people don't know about. For example, logs. Well, you could put a log inside of a furnace and then smelt one log down into one piece of charcoal, and that piece of charcoal, that'll smelt you down 8 items. And don't forget, you have to use fuel to make fuel in this case. But did you know that you can actually take 3 logs and break them down into planks like this, and then break those planks down into slabs? And if we put 24 slabs as fuel in here, but 3 pieces of charcoal in here, 3 pieces of wood, right? I'm gonna go ahead and smelt gold on this side and copper on this side. You're gonna see that one lasts longer than the other. And as you can see, the final result, as expected, 8 times 3 equals 24 copper ingots, whereas the same amount of wood, just using the planks, got us 36 gold ingots. So don't convert your logs into charcoal unless you plan on using it for torches. Now, another cool thing that you should know is that furnaces give you experience points. So as I go to take items out of a furnace that have been smelted, I get experience points for it. And different items that you can smelt give you different levels of experience. So if you want to use a furnace to get experience points, it'd probably help to memorize this chart or know where to pull it up. Not only can you take the items out though, you can also break the furnace, and any XP it has stored up from all of the items that you smelted will come out of it that way too. Now, one thing you should know is all items will smelt at the same speed. So while you have different types of fuel that will last different periods of time, your items themselves always smelt at the same speed, with an exception. That exception has to do with what furnace you're using. You have a blast furnace and a smoker. The blast furnace will take any metals, any ores, and smelt them faster, whereas the smoker will take any food and cook it faster. It will smelt or cook at twice the speed that a normal furnace will, but it will not smelt or cook any items that are not compatible with it. So you can't go through and put stone in a blast furnace. You can't put gold in a smoker. It won't smelt at all, which means that you do have to use these in those specific scenarios. Next thing for you to know is that hoppers can interface with the furnace, but how exactly? Well, if you put a hopper in any side, front, back, or side, it will put items into the fuel slot. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, 4 coal there. But if you want to put items into the slot of smelting things, you drop it into the top right there like that. And then if you would like to automatically take that item out, all you need to do is you can put a chest down, you can put a hopper coming out the bottom, and when that item's done smelting, it will move into here. If you want to be able to put more items into these slots at a time, go ahead, you can drop a single or a double chest down, and it will do just that for you. And just like that, you have an automated hopper system where you can throw in a bunch of items to smelt, a bunch of fuel, and you can just let it run its course. Now you may think, well, Prowl, what about the goody XP that you told me about? How do I get that out when there's no item over here? That's fine. We can do that. All you got to do, hold down the crouch button, place a lever on the front or the side or wherever you'd like to. Flip that lever, which will power the hoppers here and here, and it will keep items from going in. Now I can go through, I can grab that item out and get my XP. And speaking of XP, would you like to get a lot of it? Well, how about we take this guy right here out and let's double our speed. Let's put down a smoker and let's take something that we can get a lot of really quickly. First of all, our smoker needs some coal. Let's throw some fuel up in there. And maybe you've been growing a lot of potatoes. Go ahead and throw those guys in, and double whammy. Not only are you getting experience points from these potatoes being cooked, but also you can eat them. So it is a great early game food source. Also, I'm going to show you something that you're never going to unsee. This right here, that's definitely a battery. 100%. We have a battery inside of our smoker furnaces. Bruh. But wait, there's more. If we were talking about speed, how about we double it again? Because guess what? All we got to do is throw down another smoker, throw down another hopper here, another hopper here, and another hopper here. And all of a sudden, we have doubled the speed in which we are smelting things and the rate in which we're getting baked potatoes. But wait again, don't stop here, because if 2 furnaces are better than 1, then even more furnaces is even more better. Now you could do this in a couple different ways on Bedrock Edition. First of all, on Bedrock Edition, furnaces can be moved by piston. So you can create a piston feed tape furnace that automatically sends items into the furnace to be smelted and automatically puts fuel into furnaces to do the smelting. These types of systems, they can be really cool and really fun to mess with, but they're not always the most economical. Which brings me to a lot of different options that you have here, anywhere from just doing 4 furnaces with a couple of different setups to share everything across like this, or you can start to go a little bit more complex, but honestly still pretty easy, where we move minecart chests back and forth, and all we got to do is we just got to click the minecart in the back, put some fuel into the furnaces, and then click the minecart up top, put the thing we want to smelt in, and send it on its way. As you can see, 8 furnaces with a very minimal amount of effort will get you items pretty quickly. But guess what? These systems can actually get really, really big. I believe this one right here is somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 blocks long. And if you want to see something incredibly satisfying, all you got to do is take the fuel, put it in here, take the smelted item and put it in here, and we click a button here, and we click a button here, and we watch them all light up, taking all of those goodies in and smelting over 70 items at a time. And guess what? This will just be finishing by the time that makes its way back over, meaning that this thing right here, as huge as it is actually really simple and really efficient to make. But wait, there's more. You can go even fancier if you like to. You can create little systems like that just look a whole lot better by putting it inside of a room. Or you can make fancy redstone circuits that when you put things into the chest here and send the cart on its way, it will actually keep going all on its own until it's finished. And once it does finish unloading everything, it will actually permanently stop and not go anymore, waiting for you to put more items in it. All it takes is a detector rail and a little simple circuit to tell it to continue to send that signal to our powered rail there. And if you really want to get fancy, I can show you the Bedrock Guide Season 1 world here, where we have this awesome blacksmith and everything looks kind of simple inside, right? But you would be wrong, because if I go down here, you can find a actually pretty advanced super smelter here that I think has somewhere around 90 to 100 furnaces in it. It can actually, using the same mechanics, get up to 350 plus furnaces large. Pretty awesome little device here that detects whenever a certain amount of items are inside of this hopper minecart, and it sends it on its way, and it goes around and it gets loaded back up to get sent again. I have not done a tutorial on the super smelter, but if you want to see one, if we hit 5,000 likes in this video, I'll make it for you guys. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment down below, and let me know any furnace tricks, tips, or hacks that you may know, and I'll see you next time. Bye.